Friday night. You know what that means. We've got another night of NASCAR action coming your way. We are live with the Australian NASCAR eSeries. It's Friday night trucks powered by Beat the Dark. Mental health matters. And we are here tonight live on the Monster Mile Dover International Speedway for the 11th round of the Friday Night Trucks series. So just take a sip of my coffee there. As we can see on the leaderboard there, Ron Thompson, 22.583, 1 mile in 22 and a half seconds. That man is cruising. Lachlan Keisha and Adam alone in the top 3. Top 5, and then the top 10, Darren McKenzie, Mate Mitchell, Adam Johnson, Ruben Phelps, Kelvin Clark. I think we're going to go to qualifying here, so I'm sure we're going to get all the rest of the cars out of the way. No, we're not. As it jumps over. Oh, no, we can. It can. Andy Barber, Daniel Stevens, Nigel Seidel, Wayne Taylor, Adam Johnson, Maxi Marshall, Matthew Beale, Aaron Gilbert, Ben Vickers, Kelvin Clark, Marty Mitchell. Thank you for the likes, Lolly and Moist. Boys starting to get out onto the track for qualifying. There's the 42 of Lachlan Akisha. We saw the 777 just a moment ago. That was Kelvin Clark. Get my coffee down because my throat's already dry. Wow. Boys are just sort of getting up to speed. This one's a bit of a tricky one because you're going to use a bit of speed and tyre wear trying to hold that speed. As you can see there, the car's getting a little bit loose. There's the 058. That's Wayne Taylor. Got a couple of times in already. 22.774 is official quick time. Kelvin Clark. Darren McKenzie, 22.826, 23.640. A lot of times coming in now. There's the 2 of Connor Nixon. Seeing a few guys sort of carrying a little bit too much speed out of the turns, getting a bit loose on the straightaways. That's going to be a problem tonight. I've got to see how many laps the schedule actually was. We'll see that soon, of course. Let's get qualifying out of the way. So the new quick time is now Lachlan Akisha, 22.571, 22.619. Ron Thompson, Adam Malone, 22.662, gets pushed down to 4 with Adam Johnson's 22.659. They're keeping me on my toes. He gets pushed down because of Daniel Stevens, 22.584. He's now in second. See there, Ben Vickers, Darren McKenzie, Kelvin Clark, Connor Nixon, Stephen Williams, top 10 there. Aaron Gilbert, Wayne Taylor, Matthew Beale round out the other 3 cars to make the 13 car field that have qualified. I believe 18 are registered for tonight, but 13 have elected to qualify so far. Excuse me, there's the 69 and Nigel Seidel. Makes all this happen. One of. There's the 52 of Henry King. It's not a drift show, Henry. It's a NASCAR race, mate. But that does look very cool. Alright, of course, this is round 11. Last week was round 10. Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber, Adam Johnson, Ben Vickers, and Alex Stelbergs are the top 5 there. Now the standings after round 10. Looks like there are 7 guys that have secured a playoff position. Stephen Williams, Jason Holdsworth, and Connor Nixon all have 2 wins apiece. Darren McKenzie, Ron Thompson, Daniel Stevens, and Luke Wilson all have 1 win apiece. Ruben Phelps is on plus 147, plus 92 for Andy Barber. Bryce Meddings, plus 61. That is the top 10. Only a couple more rounds to go before we get to that playoff structure. So Yeah, wins are very important. While we're actually in the Discord, having a look at that information. 200 laps. This is a 200-mile race. The Friday night trucks powered by Beat the Dark 200 mile. Holy cow. Looks like Connor Nixon just sort of sitting there on the pit row. I think Henry King as well. I don't think any of them have any laps remaining. It's only about 30 seconds to go before we throw this one over to the boys in 200 laps. That is insane. I feel for these guys so much. Alright, let's get to check out. There's Barney. He's ready. He's willing. He's able. 14 cars we had qualifying. Quickest was Lachlan Akijo. As soon as I throw to that, thinking we've got a bit of time to kill, qualifying ends. So we're actually going to get to the start of this race. Oh, looks like 20 cars, 21 by my count actually, have registered for the race. Let's see how many take the field. We'll get down to the track. It's 57 of Daniel Stevens. Just waiting on Lachlan Akijo to line up alongside him. There he is. Try and get a bit wider. There we go. So, pardon me. Lachlan Akijo and Daniel Stevens. They're going to start on the front row. Second row is going to be Ron Thompson and Adam Johnson. Adam Malone and Ben Vickers on the third row. Fourth row is going to be Darren McKenzie and Kelvin Clark. Connor Nixon and Stephen Williams on that fifth row. Sixth row is going to be Aaron Gilbert and Wayne Taylor. Matthew Beal and Nigel Seidel on that seventh row. Ruben Phelps, Matthew Raymond, 8th row. 9th row is going to be Brian Blundell and Henry King. 10th row, Andy Barber and Maxie Marshall on that 11th and final row. If he grids, Marty Mitchell is the man back there. So see a few down on the upper part of the grid. A lot of the infield really sort of, we're waiting for them, it looks like. The infield, the inside line rather. Countdown timer. That no. The reason I don't have it is because it has ended. We are rolling out 200. Every time I say that, 200 laps of Dover International Speedway, commonly known as the Monster the Monster Mile. I didn't know what I was stuck starting. I was just trying to get Miracle in there, maybe. Monster Mile. It is 1.02 miles long. Very fast, well-long track, and yeah, some of the boys will be able to ride it up high, control their speed. Some of the guys will look to run it down low and fast, but this one very interesting. It's a pit window probably around, I guess, 9,500. But wait and see. This car is leaving the track. Beautiful day here in Dover. It is almost 2:45 in the afternoon at Dover race time, track time. See the beautiful skies as we get the first lap up and running. Liking that high line. A lot of the guys prefer the inside line, but the fastest line looks to be that outside line. Get to the race cameras and check it out. Lachlan Akijo, Daniel Stevens, Adam Johnson, Adam Ron Thompson, and Adam Malone. They're the 5-pack there. You can see another 3-pack behind them. That's Darren McKenzie, Ben Vickers, Aaron Gilbert, Ruben Phelps, Matthew Beale, Stephen Williams, Kelvin Clark. They're all back there. Wayne Taylor, and Nixon, Marty Mitchell, Matthew Raymond, Henry King, Nigel Seidel, and Maxie Marshall. 21 cars, 200 laps. What has Dover got in store for us? It's going to be a long night for some of these drivers. Let's see how it goes. Seeing as he races into 3 and 4. Come around to finish the first of 4 laps, 5th lap underway in just a second. Try and get around the field a little bit more, around, see what everyone else is up to. Oh, there has been a crash. The 86, Brian Blundell. That is our first caution, lap 5. Let's see what caused that. Oh, the 058 looks like he got up into the wall a little bit, came back down and just must have overcorrected. Slammed down into Brian Blundell and just popped him straight into the infield wall. He's going to get his first pit for the night. A bit early for everyone else. No need for fuel just yet. But Brian definitely will want to assess that damage. Front left guard there, just gone. Spoken about this a few times, most people may know, but for viewers who are just checking us out, when a yellow flag comes out, there are 4 laps involved. The initial lap is just sort of get everything straightened up, sorted out, everyone back going again, and then second lap for people to pit. Third lap is last chance to pit, but pretty much that is where you expect it to be sort of hopefully coming out, and then after that the 4th lap 1 to green, that is our go lap. So all the boys out on the track, and in fact Brian Blundell's not yet in the pits, so maybe the pits are only just starting to open now as we get into turn 3. Looks like he, yep, there he goes. We can see him on the track map there. We can see him just on the screen heading down pit lane. That's going to drop Brian back to 21st position. Wow, Bob. Up the front, it's going to be Lachlan Akijo and Daniel Stevens resuming that battle on the front row. Adam Johnson and Ron Thompson on the second row. Third row, it's going to be Adam Malone and Darren McKenzie battling it out. Ben Vickers and Aaron Gilbert on that 4th row. 5th row is going to be Matthew Beale and Wayne Taylor. Then on the 6th row, Connor Nixon, Andy Barber, Marty Mitchell and Kelvin Clark will be on the 7th row. 8th row will be Nigel Seidel and Maxime Marshall. Ruben Phelps on that 9th row. 10th row will be it's Stephen Williams, and on that 10th row, Matthew Raymond and Henry King. On the 11th row with, not if Bob, when Brian gets back out of the pits. Possibly not for this restart. I believe this is the 2 to go. We will be 1 to go once the pace car and the lead car passes the start finish line, which ironically will also be where Brian Blundell's parked in the pits. Right, yeah. You can tell when it's almost 1 to green because that's when they'll automatically start lining up just before that line. We usually see a lot of the, basically it's just the inside line popping up to the outside line into their correct formation, side by side. Pace speed. It's lap 9. It's going to be lap 10 when we get this one back underway. A mammoth fifth of a way into this 200 lap race. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a long night for these guys. Poor fellas. Their arms are going to be tied. Alright, 1 to green coming into 3 and 4. Brian Blundell still in the pits, 2 laps down, so he will go a couple of laps down. As we say, 200 laps, still plenty of time to get those laps back. If anything happens to some people that aren't fortunate enough to be able to go to the pits to get it repaired, then resilience and perseverance will get those spots as well. Off we run. Lachlan Akisho definitely likes the upper high entry from the corner down low through the run. That guy on the exit there, go down the back stretch. Quite as high line in this one, but 1 and 2, let's see, he's definitely staying up high. Yeah, cuts it nice and low. Brakes possibly a bit. Daniel Stevens, no, Adam Johnson has got his car there. Daniel Stevens just back there behind them, as is Ron Thompson out alone. That's the 5th car back there. There is a big line of cars though. We're talking Ben Vickers, Darren McKenzie, Aaron Gilbert, Connor Nixon, Matthew Beale, Wayne Taylor, Marty Mitchell. Apparently running along with Ben Vickers right now. It's in the top 5 in front of him. Spot to be. You have to challenge too hard. You can just hang on to the draft. Otherwise, you've really got to use a bit of tyres to close that gap and get enough speed to pass you. There's the 2 of Connor Nixon. He is that guy. See if he's happy and content just to grab onto the draft also. Johnson has got himself up past Lachlan Akisho and got himself quite the lead, about a second lead. Daniel Stevens is back there with Lachlan and Ronnie Thompson, Adam Malone. Is that play? 3, 6, 6, 8. Lachlan Akisho, so that is clearly what did the damage. Quickest lap though, Lachlan Akisho 23.593 compared to the 23.610 of our race leader Adam Johnson. 23.609, pretty quick up there in the front. Nigel Seidel, however, 23.777, not a bad time. Quickest last lap. Is doing all right back there at 15th. As I say, still plenty of laps. We're barely coming up on the 1/10 portion. It's just done 20 laps. We've got to do that another, what, 10 times? That's 20 lots of laps at 10 times. That's 180, so 18. I don't even know math. I don't know why I try and do math. I said this the other day, and you know you've made it when Twitch bots don't give you away. Something happened there with the 69 Nigel Seidel. I missed it, but looks like he towed before a caution came out. Never had to worry about it, to be honest. But I don't know, things I was racing. I guess a little bit of exposure to that stuff. Has fallen back to third. Daniel Stevens back to fifth. Ron Thompson moved up into fourth. No, moved up into third. Lachlan has fallen back. Might have used a bit of those tyres in those first 24 laps. But it's the Adams up the front. Adam Johnson and Adam Malone. They have caught up to Adam Malone and crew have caught up to Adam Johnson. We can see here there's a bit of a race going on up the front. It's only lap 25 at 200, but there's Adam Malone. Ron Thompson just behind him. Lachlan Akijo, Connor Nixon, Adam Johnson's fallen back to fifth. So it is. Let's try and get a bit more wider on the cams there to see a bit of this race in action up the front, because apparently racing can't wait. Get a little bit closer so we can still hear the engines, but there's a bit of racing going on everywhere. Green and black, the 058, that is Wayne Taylor. Ruben Phelps is the race car on the inside line. Below him, Ben Vickers. The car in front, Ben Vickers. Matthew Bill behind him. Going on up the front there with, I believe that's Ruben Phelps and Aaron Gilbert, maybe? Oh, I called it. Let's get down and have a closer look. I saw a little bit of a battle between the two of them, and I wasn't sure if it looked like 203 just come up the track a little bit out of the turn. That's come into the 06 and caused that that incident. That's our second caution, lap 29 of 200. Brian Blundell back out on the track. He is 21 laps down, but as I say, he's got a lot of time to make that back up. Nigel Seidel is 8 laps down, so that's only 13 to go for Brian there. Ruben Phelps, he's in the pits 1 lap down. We don't know what's happened there. We know at lap 29, though, it looks like a lot of cars going into the pits. Not all of them, though. Adam Malone electing to stay out on 29 lap old tyres. Gonna have Daniel Stevens, Darren McKenzie, Ben Vickers, Matthew Bill, Andy Barber, and Maxie Marshall behind them. Everyone else going in to the pits. That might be Brian Blundell as well back there. While they're rolling around for their 4 laps of yellow flags. Give me one moment, guys. I will be straight back. Alright, as lap 31 begins. Adam Malone, Daniel Stevens, Darren McKenzie, there's Darren. In third, second and third, Ben Vickers and Matthew Bill, fourth and fifth. Excuse me. Andy Barber, Maxie Marshall, Ron Thompson, Adam Johnson, and Connor Nixon. That's the 10. Stephen Williams, Matthew Raymond, Marty Mitchell, Henry King, Kelvin Clark, and Wayne Taylor round out the 11 to 16. Lachlan Okijo, Aaron Gilbert, Ruben Phelps, Nigel Seidel, all still in the pits. I think Lachlan Okijo, no, he is. He's rolling out. So he'll line up in 17th, but Aaron Gilbert, Ruben Phelps, Nigel Seidel still in the pits. Brian Blundell back there as well. But he unfortunately is still 21 laps down. Alright, we are 1 to green. Adam Malone and Daniel Stevens taking up that front row. Adam Malone will be our pole position sitter, so he will be restarting this caution. Second row is going to be Darren McKenzie and Ben Vickers, Matthew Bill and Andy Barber. Third row, fourth row, Maxie Marshall and Ron Thompson. Adam Johnson and Connor Nixon on that fifth row. Stephen Williams, Matthew Raymond, sixth row. Seventh row, Marty Mitchell and Henry King. Kelvin Clark and Wayne Taylor will be on that 8th row, 9th row. Excuse me, Lachlan Okijo and Brian Blundell. Aaron Gilbert, Ruben Phelps, Nigel Seidel still in the pits. Cruising into 1 and 2. There is teammate Darren McKenzie right there behind him. Those two have really been gunning it lately. Obviously we saw them last week. Just trying to think, there was the blue, the green and the red. Who was the red? Is that Andy Barber, I believe? It is. Those three together, and it's you gotta be careful. 57 looked like he got a little bit loose there. A little slidey. Daniel Stevens. Check up as much as closer, but you can just see that sometimes in the cars, they slide out a little bit in the rear. Carry that too much speed too tight on the steering. It's the 08 Maxi Marshall. There's Adam Johnson just behind them. Connor Nixon up there in front. So kind of battling out Ryan Thompson's got a good seat for that. On the track map there that Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie starting to push away a little bit there. Andy Barber has made his way up into third place, so you got to think he's going to want to try and catch up to those teammates there. The 57 at Daniel Stevens, he wants to hang on to Andy Barber as well so he can catch up, take advantage of that. Ben Vickers and Ron Thompson, sorry, no, Ben Vickers and Connor Nixon, as well as Matthew Raymond, Stephen Williams, Matthew Beal and Maxi Marshall. Matthew Beal, what, have you done this before, Bob? You sure you could? Alright, come back together soon. Lap 39 of 200. Been a little bit fallout and I feel like Sean a bit addicted to playing Fallout 76 again. Matthew Raymond, that is the red and black there. Red and black attack. Right there. Try to get wider here so you can see a little bit more of the different lines the guys are choosing here as we get to lap 41. Of 200. Now remember, a lot of these guys are racing on 12 lap old tyres, but then some of these guys are racing on 41 lap old tyres, so tyre wear has to be a consideration. The top four have run 42 laps on their tyres. The two guys behind them, Ron Thompson and Connor Nixon, 13. So you got to think that that might start factoring in soon. Akijo, Maxi Marshall, it looks like Ben Vickers battling it out of the left of our screen. Bit of angle of this racing action. This one, Dover, I'm noticing the Monster Mile is a little bit more racier throughout the race. Most NASCAR races, especially with the Friday night trucks powered by Beat the Dark, the Australian NASCAR eSeries league that we race, the series that we are watching here tonight. A lot of the laps, they can be 100, 200 laps, and the guys definitely do take it easy those first half. Yeah, sort of you want to be for that second half, and that's where you can sort of battle the race. There's still plenty of race to race by that stage, but Dover, I don't know, the 1 mile just seems to keep things just a little bit on your toes, a little bit racy. There's opportunities, you see a little bit more action a lot earlier, like we're lap 45 and we've seen some really good racing so far, none more so now than the 7, the 52 and the 98 right here. That's Ben Vickers, Stephen Williams, Henry King's the 52. He's got the 86 of Brian Blundell just there behind him. He's moved up into 20th. Nigel Seidel, 25 laps down, still in the pits. And Brian Blundell able to move up into 20th. He's got 4 more laps to move up in front of Ruben Phelps. 7 to possibly get past Aaron Gilbert. Getting back up into 18th. Excuse me, my throat has been terrible today. Where's my drink? say that. Top four, Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber, Ron Thompson. No, sorry, Daniel Stevens, who's just fallen back to fifth. Ron Thompson's moved up into fourth. That's where the confusion came from. The top three now, at least, are on the lap of tyre wear and fuel usage. So from top fuel, not sure exactly how much the trucks can handle here at Dover, but as to whether that's an issue. But tyre wear, it has to be an issue. We've got in 7th place Lachlan Akija ran 24.373. Last lap 24.5, top two, so that's 2/10 off the pace there up the front. Oh, there we go. It's the O2. Oh, the 5 in the O2. Andy Barber. Looks like Andy Barber's taken over second place for Darren McKenzie. Said, "Hold on, buddy. Stick with me. We'll get back up to the boss man." In first place, Adam, it's not the boss of the team, turn of phrase. Beautiful look at the three of them there. There's Andy Barber, Darren McKenzie. I was going to say that was the Bond of the 22, but there he is, right there, the unmistakable blue. Ron A. Thompson, thank you, camera crew, for going back to it for us, in case we weren't sure. He has got Adam Malone, Andy Barber, and Darren McKenzie ahead of him. They are the top three, but not only they're the top three, they're all teammates, so that makes it even harder, because you know they're not going to push each other too crazy. Can't rely on them to challenge each other. Going to be interesting. Brian Blundell moved up into 19th, pushed Ruben Felder back down to 20th. He's trying to make his charge back up to gain as many points as he can. Try and get some of those laps back if there's a green flag. Pit, looks like someone pulling down into the pit lane there or the infield, I'm not sure. Look at the 6.5 at 1 of Marty Mitchell. Back up in turn 1, it looked like 1 and 2. 7, Daniel Stevens, currently in 5th place. Ron Thompson, team drivers ahead of him. He's got to put up with Connor Nixon, Lachlan Akija back there behind him. Matthew Raymond, Maxie Marshall, Stephen Williams running out the 10, in fact. That is also the lead lap. Cars behind them in 16th, Adam Johnson. He's a lap down. Marty Mitchell currently in the pits, 13 laps down to 17th. 14 laps down, Aaron Gilbert in 18th, 19th. Brian Blundell, 21 laps down. And Ruben Thompson, Hodges, so they're all both in the pits to 21st. Good evening. It's not good morning, it's good evening. Evening Australia. It's morning America, but it was the evening Australia. Chris, hello, how are you, buddy? So it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I played too much Fallout 76. Looks like Ruben Phelps has popped the car on the truck, so he's been in the pits, as I said, for 30 laps. Chance of him coming out now, a little bit dashed. Might be able to take it back off the truck and get it working again and get it back in the pits later for more repairs, but now it looks like he has retired. 19 cars still out there racing, 15 of them on the leader lap. NASCAR eSeries running up trucks. Cowboy beat the dark mental matters. Lap 61 of 200 laps at Dover International Speedway. the Friday night trucks did over 200 a mile. Which is pretty more. Chris, you're the math, you're the teacher. 200 times, 200 times 0.02 for flat Earth or a hologram of the world. That's the What about the turtle? We all live on the back. Riding off with Connor Nixon. He's replaced as Ron Thompson. That earlier unmistakable blue. But how are you, Christopher? I mean, mate, teach math. I made the kids dumb. Track map that Andy Barber has caught up to Adam Malone a bit, but his teammate Darren McKenzie, third place, has fallen back. He's got Ron A. Thompson and Connor Nixon behind him, so that's Connor's point of view as well. That's a bit of a super wide canter. Looks like we have a bit of lapped traffic here. Adam Johnson and Matthew Beal between the leaders. Adam Malone and Andy Barber there. Be interesting to see how they handle this. Obviously, Adam Johnson and Matthew Beal, they could be fighting for their own positions. I think they are actually. I think Adam Johnson on lap and down for Matthew Beal. Both of those guys laps down. Now it looks like Adam Malone, our race leader, he's content to just sort of hang back behind him. He's the man on our screens right there. Behind him, his teammate Andy Barber's fallen back to where Darren McKenzie, his other teammate, is. They're still second and third. Back up behind them, Ron Thompson's not letting fourth place go. Connor Nixon is our current fifth place car. Daniel Stevens, Lachlan Akijo, Matthew Raymond, Stephen Williams, Alexi Marshall. His hand. Interesting fact, as a teacher of my set, I can't read that. Yeah, look, that's the world we live in, Chris. Mark. Pack coming up to some lap traffic, not exactly any problem just yet, but still there nonetheless. just the 2 cautions so far. We had one, I think, was around lap 5. One, 45 laps ago, so around lap 29, I guess. But has been 45 lap green flag run. Some of these cars have done some amazing runs. Maxi Marshall, he's in 10th, but he's ran 74 laps on his tyres in 6th. Daniel Stevens, 75 laps, and then the top 3, Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, and Andy Barber, all teammates there, have run 75 laps. So that fuel tank would have to be getting pretty low by now. Those tyres getting pretty hot, pretty bare. So they might be looking at a green flag pit. Keep an eye on Adam Malone on the track map. Here's the key. When he goes in, I reckon the other 2 will go in. There we go. The 1 pulling in. Looks like the 0-2 might have missed out. The 5 was able to get down. It looks like Darren McKenzie's staying out for 1 more lap at least. Connor Nixon's also going to stay out there. Stevens looking to go in as well. Looks like the 0-2 of Darren McKenzie's elected to stay out a bit longer. He's going to run this thing off the smell of an oily rag, it sounds like. Cars going in, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, currently in the pit, 6. So 7 heading down now, that is the 0-2. We want to get a few of those laps in first. Obviously some of these guys, as I say, 50, 51 laps because of that prior caution. Gamble's paid off. Connor Nixon, he moved up into the racing lead. Ron A. Thompson second. Lachlan Akijo, the car we're looking at now, he's in 3rd. Matthew Raymond, Stephen Henry King, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Everyone else a bit battle lap down because of that green flag pit stop. So we'll see how that pans out in another 50, 60 laps. Change my replay settings if I can get the mirrors working in the trucks. That'd be kind of cool. The 018, the 52, that's the 08, the 52, Maxi Marshall. Henry King. Sorry, Henry, how can I forget you, buddy? Ninth place, Darren McKenzie was 3rd for a long time, but that pit stop. The boys of all teams are straight back up though. Adam Malone 8th, 10th, Andy Barber. Look at that. You can't not see that green, red, blue and red in any format. Seeing the other boys there. Watch them try and race their way back up. Connor Nixon might be behind them actually in the lead, so they do have a bit of racing to go. Connor Nixon coming up on his 56th lap on these tyres and fuel, so he's still probably got a little bit of run in him. Vickers, Bob. Brian Blundell up in front of Brian Blundell will be Adam Johnson. Back behind Ben Vickers, Marty Mitchell. Marty Mitchell, Adam Johnson. Boys who are differing laps. So, yeah, the inside line pass, shall I say, is not a pass for a position. So, you'll see guys let people through because it doesn't cost you a position. It gives you a more comfortable speed. So, a bit of strategy. Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber behind him, remember, teammates, so they're going to have a bit more of a faster line than the single cars. The cars that are barely on the draft, so you'll be able to control their pace a lot more. Challenge single cars a lot easier. Passing on the outside or getting to the inside of the line quicker. Race leader though, still Connor Nixon, Ron Thompson second, Lachlan Akisha third, Matthew Raymond and Stephen Williams are our current top 5. Henry King is his car there on the lead, a lap behind them is 7, 8, 9, 10. Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber, excellent Marshall, Daniel Stevens, Matthew Bill, Ben Hicks, Kelvin Clark and Adam Johnson 10, 11 to 15, sorry, 16 to 13 is Wayne Taylor, Marty Mitchell, Aaron Gilbert and Brian Blundell. Unfortunately has retired. Wish him the best of luck for next week. Nigel Seidel, he's in the pits for about 70 odd, 72 laps. Yeah, we can't imagine he'll be bringing the truck back out on the track tonight. Good for 8 laps, get himself to the 20th position. Extra point grouping up if the points spread that far. Brian Blundell there popping up into the wall. No motor being actually. No, it's Ben Vickers and Matthew Beal, so it would have been Matthew Beal up in the wall there. That is the 018 there on the screen, but oh no, it's 018 on the leaderboard, my bad. There you see another fine example of the 3-car draft, just choosing when and where to pass the single car traffic. The 7 of Ben Vickers is their next target. My usual opening line is to try and drop down behind and tag on and just hang on for dear life. Oh, it looks like Ben's done it, but he's cut Andy Barber out of the pack. There we go. I think he'll get back on the tail here, Andy Barber. Can't quite tell who that was down on the inside line there of the track. He's going to drop back down through the field, 13, 14, 20, drop down to, I'd say 50 at worst at this stage. To Henry King. Here's another one. If he crashes, he will just wait and make those mechanics work until the cars ready to get back out of the track, and then they can just go back out of the track. 200 this race. About what, almost just under the hour, 56 minutes, 57 into the broadcast. Just the two cautions. Connor Nixon currently our race, a leader and firmly in control, about three seconds, yeah. Ahead of second place Ron and Thompson. Matthew Raymond, our third place car. He's decided 70 laps worth of fuel and tyres was enough, and he's gone into the pits. So Connor Nixon in as well. So some of these guys around those longer ones. Let's see who else. Ron Thompson, Stephen Williams, Henry King. Up to them, it's a halfway mark. That's where you'll see guys like Adam Lloyd, Darren McKenzie, and Andy Barber sort of trying to race their way back up into that race control. Handled that draft well. He's lost them considerably. Cameron to go some other drivers as well, but until I guess the field is finished. Thompson, our current race leader, but looks like he is slowing down on the track map, so I'd say he's going in to the pits as well. Henry King is the last man standing. 73 laps. Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber, they've done 23 to 25 laps on their tyres, so they've got a problem for another 50 laps or so. Looks like Stephen Williams and Henry King staying out for a bit longer. Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, and he moved up to 4th, 5th, and 6th. Someone has latched onto the back of them. I'm just trying to work it out by Stephen Williams. There he goes into the pits. Henry King is the last truck standing. Where's the 52? He's going to stay out. There he is. There's the 83 and the 018, their lap traffic. Get back to your racing line. Lap 106 as Henry King comes into 3 or 4, 77 laps. There it is. I was going to say, you got to think he has to be running a bit low by now, surely. He's going back into the pits to get some fuel, possibly some tyres. And Thompson's got himself back into 6th place after getting back out of those pits. Stevens and Maxie Marshall, they're sort of along the same count line as the lead 3 out of Malone and Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber. About 28 to 30 laps worth of usage. Marshall now screens Kevin Clark behind him. He's coming back to you, coming below Marty Mitchell. Here's where some of these runs are going to be important. Top 3 to the top 6 still on the lead lap. 1 lap down all the way back to the 11th place from 7th. So pit strategy, pit strategy still to play as Darren McKenzie gets a little bit loose there. Clark, Marty Mitchell, all up ahead of the lead pack. Of racing to go. That's insane to think about. I don't even know the conversion rate to kilometres, which is the true measurement of distance. But Adam Malone, Darren McKenzie, Andy Barber, Ron Thompson, Daniel Stevens. That is the 5. Maxie Marshall, Stephen Green Vickers, Henry King, Matthew Bill, the 10 on Kelvin Clark, Connor Nixon, Matthew Raymond, Adam Johnson, and Marty Mitchell. Looks like Lachlan Akijo back in the pits, or maybe still just been in the pits. He's following the 17. 8 is Wayne Taylor, Brian Blundell, 19th, Ruben Phelps, and Nigel Seidel, 20 and 21st. Some great racing for just one moment, folks. I'll be back in a second. Alright, apologies for the headset was beeping, so even for it. We're on a lap, I'm really not fit at all. Lap 83 is about to come to a conclusion here. No, it's not. Lap 118 is about to come to a conclusion. Lap 119 underway, 82 to go. My throat is not really working out tonight. Interesting. Oh, look out, there's been a bit of contact there. The 83, the 1, the 02, I believe, as well. The 83 was Matthew Raymond, lap traffic. Getting a little bit of contact there. Looks like the 1 having a bit of trouble swinging around. Look for a lot of these cars. They're on about 50, 41 to 50 laps worth of fuel and tyre wear. Third caution, so look for them to go in to the pits this time and fill up. to start going into the pits here. Or maybe just love to go. Oh no, here we go. See the cars rolling in. See the 22. 5, the 1, the 98. So Ron Thompson, Andy Barber, Adam Malone, Stephen Williams. Be about 78, 77 to go when we get this one back underway. Boys were teamed up for a while there, Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone and Andy Barber, but that caution has separated the bunch. Let's see them try and group back up again. They've shown that you can be dominant if you cooperate. A few boys heading into the pits. Yep, all of those 50 lappers. We see them going in. Kelvin Clark, Adam Johnson, Marty Mitchell, Wayne Taylor, Brian Blundell. Thought Matthew Bill might have gone in. Maxie Marshall, Darren McKenzie, but no, they're going to feel like there's a bit more racing to go. Starting to come out of the pits. Lineup's good to go. Darren McKenzie, Ron Thompson, Stephen Williams, Daniel Stevens, it looks like there. King, Andy Barber and Adam Malone sort of rolling into view as well back there. Alright, it's got to be 1 to green. Darren McKenzie and Ron Thompson on that front row. Stephen Williams and Andy Barber on that second row. Third row, Adam Malone and Daniel Stevens. Oh, no, Daniel's falling back a few, so sorry. That third row is Andy Barber and Adam Malone. Henry King and Daniel Stevens on that. Sorry, Adam Malone and Henry King on that third row. I'll get it right in a moment. Daniel Stevens and Maxie Marshall. If anyone wants to broadcast, you can join in anytime. On that fourth row, fifth row, Ben Vickers, Kelvin Clark. It looks like the sixth row is going to be Connor Nixon and Matthew Raymond, Matthew Bill and Adam Johnson on the seventh row. Eighth row is going to be Marty Mitchell and Aaron Gilbert. And back there on that ninth row, Brian Blundell, Wayne Taylor still in the pits, it looks like. Well, he's been in the pits. He's 20 laps down, so he may be another person that's looking after the car, getting it repaired. NASCAR has left the track. Let's get to our restart cam. Ooh. There we go. Contact on the wall. On restart, geez, they switch off. The cars not getting the start they wanted, or just having to drop down a little bit. Himself up into those positions. Now he's got those cars a little bit closer. Same lap. Marshall 7. car out there. There is 7. Got a 7, blue 7. Laps to go, possibly one more pit stop, I reckon, for some at least. Potentially be a race changer, but we'll have to wait and see. It's racing to go. Guys was the one of Adam Malone. I was going to say he's trying to catch back up to his teammates Darren McKenzie and Andy Barber, who have teamed back up. They're in 3rd and 4th at the moment. Matthew Field, there as well. Marty Mitchell, Kelvin Clark. Upside down. I assume that's the logo on the bonnet then. All jolly bearded men on the inside. Speaking of what the quote was, it was bearded men and just people without beards. Alright, 67 to go. The 98 of Stephen Williams is our race leader. It looks like the 1 of Adam Malone is elected to go into the pits. Not sure what's happened there. He's 10 laps out of his last visit. Not sure why he's needed to go in. But Darren McKenzie, sorry, Stephen Williams, Ron Thompson, Darren McKenzie. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Daniel Stevens, Maxie Marshall behind him. Let's get up to the lead cars and just check that battle out. Ron Thompson. Just trying to. There we go. The O2's lapped. That's why that's like that. Trying to work out where Darren McKenzie was in all of it. He's the O2. The 2 was confusing me. It's aggressively long. 98 race leader Stephen Williams. 23.374 is the quickest lap on the track. That's his. 24.127 is the quickest last lap. That is also his. Stephen Williams, he's on a haul at the moment. Ron Thompson's there in 2nd. Darren McKenzie 3rd. Andy Barber in 5th. Stephen Maxie Marshall 6th and 7th, rounding out the lead lap drivers. You can see there, Connor Nixon, Matthew Raymond, Ben Vickers, Kelvin Clark, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th are currently a lap down. Adam Johnson's in 12th, 3 laps down. 5 laps down is Matthew Bill in 13th. Adam Malone still in the pits, or is he back out? Adam Malone is still in the pits. No, Adam Malone has had to park it. He has retired. I'm not sure if he got close to the penalty mark and decided it was enough, but Adam Malone unfortunately retiring the 130th lap. Wish him the best of luck. Leave him and Ruben Phelps, the two guys that have unfortunately parked it. Lachlan Akijo, Nigel Slidell watching it from the pits. Time being 22, also not really throwing anything too crazy, so we're going to go back and have a look at some of the other cars. There's the 08 of Maxie Marshall, Matthew Raymond there behind him. I think we saw Daniel Stevens and Andy Barber just up there in front of him. Yes, we did. One more little game changer sort of race opportunity. Like the pit situation. Do we get another caution? And they can pit under yellow. Do they have to pit under green? That one definitely will sway the race in a way. See on the track map, you guys can't see it, but Stephen Williams and Ron Thompson, our first and second place cars, currently coming up on some lap traffic. Marty Mitchell, Kelvin Clark, Ben Vickers. Those lap times I can see a little bit different, about 4/10, 5/10 difference. So the boys won't take them too long to close that gap out. Marshall, he is in 6th place. Got Matthew Bill, Matthew Raymond, lap traffic in front of him. In front of them, though, Daniel Stevens in 5th place. That is his opponent. He's trying to race it down to get into the top 5. Matthew Bill, 13th. Speedway from the Australian NASCAR eSeries, round 11 of the Friday Night Trucks, powered by Beat Dark. And we're very close to playoff time, and wins matter coming to the playoffs. That secure your spot, and we covered it earlier. There are a number of guys, I believe 7 guys. standings after round 10. So this is prior to tonight's race. But Stephen Williams, our current race leader, he has 2 wins. Jason Holdsworth and Connor Nixon also have 2 wins in second and third, fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh with 1 win. Darren McKenzie, Robert Thompson, Daniel Stevens, and Luke Wilson. So a lot at stake in these races, not just points, not just position, but they set you up for future races. See some of the guys going into the pits. Daniel Stevens, just mentioned him. Getting into the pits. See, Darren McKenzie has come dangerously close. He's at 74 laps. He's in third place right now. Make that 75 laps, and we know a lot of these guys shot in around 77, so look for him to definitely be going in sometime soon, if not, no, not yet. Trying to see exactly where he is on the track map, but I can't quite tell. Where's the O2 on the relative? Connor Nixon. Oh, there we go. I see him coming into 3 and 4 now. Connor Nixon, he's done 32 laps, so he's not even worried about the hits at this stage, you've got to imagine. Marty Mitchell, Kelvin Clark up there ahead of him. He's going to come down under Marty Mitchell nice and easily. That back stretch into 3 and 4 to 3 and 4, 1 and 2 into the back stretch now. Thompson, who's up there ahead of him in the lead. Vickers and just Ben Vickers is up there in front of the lead pack, so look for him to maybe stick up high as the boys enter low, but he does have a bit of pace ahead of him. So for now, he is just racing his line. 42 to go, lap 159 is underway. Literally 17 minutes more of racing to come. We get some cautions, of course. Shut up, Bob. Ahead of him, then Stephen Williams, then Henry King, it looks like. Daniel Stevens, he can see Kelvin Clark right there, and he's going to try and battle him. Through there, down that backstretch, who's going to have the pace? Looks like it's Kelvin Clark at the moment. Oh, no, Daniel got past, sorry, I seventh, Lachlan 19th, Brian in 17th. We're racing very different battles at this stage with 37 to go. big tag on the wall there. I believe that might have been the 98. A race leader on the 86, I'm not sure. Read via the track map, but looks okay. Hasn't caused major issues. Thompson's still about 1.5 seconds back there. Third placed 08 of Maxi Marshall. Started 20th, so great run for Maxi here. Good and consistent racing. Consistent thing by the looks of it. Clark and I believe the 02 of Darren McKenzie. Darren's back in 12th at the moment, just due to that late pit stop. 5 laps off the lead. So that the leaders possibly panic and don't quite have enough fuel. Leads Stephen Williams, Ron Thompson, Maxi Marshall and Andy Barber actually in the top 4 have run 45 to 47 laps, and with 33 to go, that's going to be what, 80 laps worth of fuel. And as I say, we saw a lot of them panic around that 75 to 77 mark. Ooh, it's going to be a gamble. You'd almost want a caution to draw out that fuel and see if they're tempted to go in. Top 10, Stephen Williams, Ron Thompson, Maxi Marshall, Andy Barber, Connor Nixon, Matthew Raymond, Green King, Daniel Stevens, Kelvin, Clark, Ben Vickers. The top 21, I guess, because there's one extra. Darren McKenzie, Matthew Beale, Adam Johnson, Marty Mitchell, Taylor Bryan, Blundell, Adam Malone, Lachlan Akijo, Ruben Phelps, and Nigel Seidel. Lachlan's actually back out on the track. He is. There you go. There's enough laps for him. There's enough laps for him to jump up into 15 easy. Stick with it, Lachlan. If anyone can hear this, knows Lachlan. He can jump into the, he can really jump up that leaderboard. 19th to 15th, starting in the pole position spot. Darren McKenzie, we saw the 98 of Stephen Williams, our racing leader. That's 57. Daniel Stevens and Darren McKenzie as well. Up ahead of them, it's Adam Johnson, 229 machine. Much left in this race now as we get to the last 25 laps almost. It's lap 174, 27 to go. Leader is coming in at 3 and 4 now, so this lap almost done for. Stephen Williams ahead of those two is, that is Ron's focus, but also just making sure he getting caught up in anyone else's business. off 24 second laps. 24 laps a minute, 23 laps to go. That's what, 6 minutes? My math is correct. There's really not a lot of time to make any moves. Look at that lap count sometimes and go, oh, I've got 20 laps, I'll wait till I'm 15 to make a move. But yeah, when the lap times are this quick and the race speed is still that 23 and 24. Last lap, Daniel Stevens. Last lap, Andy Barber managed to pull out a 23.257. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the leaders are full of 24 nines, 24 sixes, stuff like that. It's now's the time. Yeah, you're going to run out of time before you realise it. Stephen Williams has managed to get a few cars between him and Brian Thompson now. One car, sorry. They get for a ride of that. The 86 to 42, Lachlan Akijo and Brian Blundell going into the pits. 32 lap run for Lachlan, 57 for Brian with 20 to go. I wonder if that's a tyre or fuel run or what that is in strategy. 61 laps for Stephen Williams and Ron Thompson though, so yeah, here's where it's going to get interesting. Let's see if any strategic pits or any early advantage attempts. Ron Thompson though, he's going to have a little bit of trouble controlling that car there. An issue, 62 laps in for him. You've got to think with the playoff implications and things like that. Stephen Williams, he has 2 wins, and Desmond is also on 2 wins. This win would push him up into 3 wins, and what a points advantage that would be. Clark's gone into the pits, the 777. He was in 10th. He might be in 11th or 12th by the time he gets back out. The laps down and the guys behind him. But 15 still to come. Lap 186 this race is very much in Stephen Williams' hand. Ron Thompson looks like he's got through that lap traffic. Coming up on Stephen Williams and might be able to battle for first and second there now as we get to the dying stages of this race. Barber there just trying to make a run with Henry King and Wayne Taylor. No, Ben Vickett, sorry, Wayne Taylor's back there behind with Darren McKenzie. Green car in the white and blue back there. Every lap, I just keep an eye on the track map to see Williams and Ron Thompson. 68 laps in. Connor Nixon is in third place with 66 laps, so is possibly another consideration, but not as bad. 2 laps can be all it takes. Mitchell just there in front of him. He's going to take the low line mud. He's going to stay high, so he's going to make that pass there. It's easy. Ben Vickers, Marty Mitchell, Lachlan Akijo down low. We're officially 10 to go. End of the 10 to go. Lap 192 is about to start as 98 crosses that start finish line. We're in single digit laps, guys. Laps to go. Barely a couple of minutes of racing action to come. Jump up to Stephen Williams soon, just to see if Ron mounts a bit of a battle there. Nixon is also there, so it's going to be quite interesting actually. We're going to jump up there now. There just yet. There we go. Well, that's the leader. Everything we want to see. There we go. Open. Either. Let's just go to Connor Nixon's car. How's that? So we can see there, similar gap between first, second, and third. As we get to 6 to go, lap 195 underway, but can your tyre save enough for a last lap run, or put it up and get it there? Looks like Brian Blundell doing great riding on the back of these guys. He might even he's going to start in 17th, but for someone who was in the pits for quite some time, 30 laps down, he's made a great little climb up the ladder. .7 to go. What is Ron A. Thompson thinking? The blue 22. He's in this little sandwich right now. First, second, and third. Stephen Williams is our race leader. Right, of course, second is our third place car, Connor Nixon. Coming out of 4 there. It is the penultimate lap, just 2 to come. Will be a Stephen Thompson finish. Thompson have a trick up his sleeve. Stephen got that nose right up there. He was trying to build something, but 1 to go. White flag lap. This is it. Don't see any big attempt coming into 1 and 2, or he's going up wide. He's going to try to slingshot off out of 2 it looked like, but not quite able to. Slots back in to protect the second spot from Connor Nixon. Able to come around nice and low, but our leader and winner. Get up there. Oh my gosh, there he is. Stephen Williams. What a great race. 80 laps on fuel and tyres there on that last run. Was masterfully built. And got him there to the finish line. Be very interested to know between Ron and Stephen how much fuel they actually have left. But Connor Nixon, of course, third. Henry King, fourth. Daniel Stevens, fifth. Andy Barber, Maxi Marshall, Matthew Raymond, Ben Vickers, and Darren McKenzie round out the 10. Matthew Beale, Kelvin Clark, Adam Johnson, Marty Mitchell, Aaron Gilbert, Wayne Taylor, Brian Blundell, Lachlan Akijo, Adam Malone, Ruben Phelps, Nigel Seidel round out the 11 to 21 spots as the boys bring the cars back in to the pits, get them back on the trucks. We're going to let them wrap up, and we'll be back in just one moment with some interviews. I'll be back in a second.
Attention spectators. Will the driver open the silver Aston Martin bicycle ENT 168? Do the club's new factory asking Martin to that silver Aston as ENT 168? You're illegally parked and you will be towed in the next 10 minutes. Attention spectators. Will the driver open the silver Aston Martin bicycle ENT
All right, we have just finished 200 laps. I haven't. They have. I just watched it and called it. That's the easy part. 200 laps of Dover for the round 11 edition of Friday Night Trucks powered by Beat the Dark Australian NASCAR eSeries. We're going to jump into the broadcast booth and have a chat with some boys. We're going to start off with the ninth place. No, ninth place. Sorry, so sorry, Connor. He started in ninth, but he finished in third. Actually, Bob, thank you very much for watching the race. Congratulations, Connor. Top three finish.
Thanks. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I started last with a penalty. I got a
Oh,
couple of
did you have
rounds.
that? Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, and I got a drive-through in the race as well. So I've had one hell of a night.
Look, sometimes the penalty, especially in these longer races, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just you can sort of forces you to bide your time and make smart decisions as you work your way up. And a lot of the time, you can sort of take advantage of others' misfortune. Only three cautions tonight, 200 laps at Dover. The mile long track. It's a racy one, but it's a little deceiving in how racy it looks versus how racy it can be. And I think three very much an under on the expected number of cautions, especially with 15, 18 cars on the track or at any one time. What was that like as the race went on and you got the lap traffic sort of coming up and becoming a bit of a battle?
Yeah, it was good. The nitro set was awesome, as the boys always are. The tires were really good, and we came into the pit stop going, okay, what can we adjust? So we adjusted that left, right, put it up 2 clicks, and it was mint on that long stint just because it had more turns. So we got to the end of the stint, and Ron and I just wheeling the thing. We were only 6/10 off people with fresh tires. So we were flying out there with old tires, but yeah, on the fresh tires it was great, and yeah, the Neuropower Ford came through.
Nice Ford. I know you can't say nice bad things about Ford, but be unbiased. No, but no, it's awesome watching these races, watching a lot of you can sort of almost see what's going through the mines as people are getting up high, sort of getting out of the way of cars or trying to race those lines that sort of preserve a bit of tire or fuel. Now, the thing that I looked at there, that bit, that last run, Ron and Steven, um, second and first, they ran 80 laps of
Yep.
fuel and tires there in that last stint, like 80
Yep.
even laps. What was the fuel window, and was there any early sort of halfway mark concerns with the fuel usage?
So yeah, we that last safety car, we were like, I was like, well, I'm 2 laps down. I've got to do something here. And we kind of knew that the fuel, there needed to be a pit stop, but we weren't too sure anyway. So I got my lap back, and I was only 1 lap down. I finished 1 lap down at the end of the race, but Ron and myself, like, I was like, dude, I reckon I could save this. And he's like, "You reckon?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm only 5 liters out, so I'm just experimenting." I'm like, bugger it. I'm a lap down. I've got to try something here. So I'm just clutching from the start of the corner till they're right to the end, and I'm going, "Run, clutch, dude. You'll make it."
Yeah.
He's like, "No." Yeah, right, I'm in, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we're clutching in the whole way, and I'm like, dude, I'm catching you. He's like, yeah, I know, I can't fuel saving these things. And because I come from a supercar background where
Yep.
it's all fuel save, tire, same as these things, but
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
supercar, it's all about saving fuel through a race. You'll, lift off throttle or put a little bit of clutch in just to save that little bit on the pit stop. Because in those races, you're finding 10th, same with this stuff. But yeah, and then I'm trying to teach Ron what to do. I said, start pressuring Stevie. I said, clutch through. I said, don't worry about how far he goes to the corner. Just clutch in and carry the whole speed through. So I'm teaching him how to drive ovals, and he's almost 4K, and I'm a 2.6. But Jason Holdsworth reckons I should be 5 or 4K. But yeah, I mean it's awesome racing. I mean the boys always put it on, and yeah, I mean getting a drive through and starting from the back, I'll take it, I guess. And my first interview too, so I mean I've gotten a few little wins, but yeah, it just hasn't worked out. So yeah, it's good to finally be back up here.
That's it. That is it. Obviously, 2 wins, currently sitting in third spot before this round. In
Yep.
terms of the playoff positions, only a couple of rounds to go before that. Now, I guess I need to do a little bit of my homework. It was funny because I think the week before I started broadcasting for you guys, I did my like not my first NASCAR race, but my first sort of actual series that was gonna. So the way that the playoffs work, and the way that the schedule sort of goes through and stuff is quite new to me.
Yep.
So it's wins that secure a playoff spot, and then on that playoff
Yep.
race, it's only those people that like.
Yeah, so everyone can be on track
Yep,
through the playoffs, but it's whoever gets a win through the series or who's doing really well in the championship gets through.
yep,
So I started on round 3, and obviously I started with Phoenix, and I did really well at Phoenix. Then I went to Coda, then yada yada yada,
yep.
and yeah, here we are. And Jason and Nigel were like, you only need to do 7 races. So I'm like, I'll turn up to a couple of them, and yeah, I mean, hell, it's been great fun. It's been good to drive something different and be really competitive. And the Nitro
That's
boys have picked me up
And
with
look,
my
if you,
skills. So yeah,
it's one of those situations where you can rest on your laurels once you've sort of picked up those 1 or 2 wins. But I think
yeah,
it's also
for
better to
sure.
get out there and make the other guys have to work for it themselves. So if it's like I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep, if you don't take it, I'm gonna keep taking it. And
yeah,
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 like
yeah,
looks like a couple of the guys. I mean, there was obviously you three for a lot of that last half of the race. As a team and on track, guys like Andy Barber, was it Andy Barber, Adam Malone, and Darren
yep,
McKenzie. They were they. I saw it at Talladega. I just hadn't noticed it prior, but when they team up and it's just that 3 car controlled draft, just they could challenge any cars. I'm thinking they're going to come, and it was really just the I think the pit shuffles. Some of the guys went in a
yep.
bit. They went a bit later than some of the others, and I think that might have been a gamble that didn't necessarily play the way they wanted to play. But
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. I mean, talking about that gamble, I remember them going in, and Ron's, the expert. I'm the SVG. I'm just learning at the moment. Obviously I come back from a road background, obviously, doing the Logitech stuff and all that. And yeah, so Ron's like, all right, they've fitted, and we're gonna say it. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we'll have 20 laps better tires. And I'm like, all right, righto, boss, copy that.
That's it.
And I'll listen to the big dog who's in there, and yeah, it worked out. And yeah, I think it's when those guys are in a train, it's good. But with the Nitro boys, I think we've all just kind of went, look, if like Martinsville, if you're versing each other, go, go to the wall really with it. Don't really be friends about it. Just
That's it.
go at it.
Well,
And
you're only as good as your competition, and it doesn't matter if it's your friends, mates, teammates, or what. Yeah, you're only going to
that's
get
it,
better
dude.
from the comp. So, no, that
Yep.
as I said on the, you wouldn't have heard it because you're racing, but I say on the broadcast that, you guys, the talent that's on the track, I'm fortunate enough to broadcast, makes it so easy. It's like it's
Mm,
almost like cheating that I get to pay, to sit here and talk about it and then talk to you guys at the end of the race. So it's you guys the 200 laps like that's when I first came in. It's not so bad now, 11 races in, but it
yep.
was a bit of a culture shock coming in, and the some of the big tracks 80, 90, 100 laps, and then some of the smaller shorter tracks
Yeah.
250 laps. It's like, wow, you guys must have guns, like, or no force feedback on the racing wheel, because that, like, I don't know, I could do 40 to 60 laps, 80 stretching it if I got a teammate or something. But no, it's just amazing watching you guys battle out there. And this race, I did say earlier on, I think it was about lap 45. There was a lot of competitiveness. Normally, you guys will stick about half of the race, will be pretty much follow the leader and a few line
Yep.
changes if you got to run, whatever. But no, there was some really competitive racing with it. With you're 20 to 40 laps in to a
Mm.
200 lap race. So no, that's a big credit to you guys for sure.
I think it's just the league's getting bigger, and obviously with the Nitro,
Mm,
DPR, and Southern Cross, we're all improving. Like, all the I'm glad I've come in when I have, because
yep,
it's definitely shown that someone like me who is a very good road racer, when you come into this, you're an absolute noob. Like, you can't bring anything across besides a little bit of braking.
yeah,
So when we went to Martinsville, I was the best on the brakes, but I had to learn how to control the car, how the oversteer worked,
yep.
how the downforce worked, how the front left tire was digging into the groove. It takes a lot. So I ended up getting the 2 wins around Martinsville. So that's my favorite track at the moment. All the boys hate me for that
I
because
hate
I like that
Martinsville.
track. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
when I
yeah.
first started it on like the lesser cars, it wasn't so bad. But when I got to trucks, I'm like, oh yeah, Martinsville. I was just like, I hate this paperclip track. It's, oh my god. But no. Well, look, I could talk to you all night, man. You're a fun dude to talk to. You've mentioned a
I
few of the
appreciate it, man.
guys throughout the chat now, but friends, family, sponsors, they go a big part into making what we do possible. So who do you need to give a shout out to?
So just want to give a shout out to Neuropower. They're the main sponsor in the car.
Yep.
Obviously, I've left Vermilion recently, so I'm starting my own little journey. So Neuropower's the main sponsor now. Soul Beauties. My apologies. They give me some awesome beauty products and make me look beautiful on track. AMX, that's Max Verstappen's league. I commentate for them,
Mm,
and luckily they've come on board, so they're a sponsor on the back of the car.
nice.
Then we've got Nitro Racing, who's the race team behind this. If these guys went around and didn't give me the offer, I wouldn't be really racing and being competitive. Then yeah, my own little brand, Connor Nixon. I haven't called it Connor Racing, or something something. It's just Connor Nixon. So that's the logo of this, the cow with the horns and
Yep.
stuff. Just make it look really cool. So yeah, and then Connor Nixon announcing on top of that. So yeah.
Definitely got a lot, and that's the thing. That's what I love about this whole thing that we do, iRacing, especially. There's it's just so many facets of it. I didn't realize when I first started, just driving on it, and having mates, having like our own racing teams, watching those guys improve and get actually recruited into teams, like known teams, and the success that you get to enjoy through that. No, it's brilliant, man, and no, it's good to hear you starting your own thing. Good luck with that. Wish you the best of luck. I think what we're seeing on the track is I don't think you'd have too much trouble with it. I think it's going to be successful, and
For
I
sure.
reckon
We hope so.
I reckon I'll have you back in the booth sometimes before this 19 race series is over.
Too easy, man. Have a good one. Thank you.
You too, buddy.
See ya.
All right, that was Connor Nixon. Yeah, no, I could definitely chat to him for a while. He's a fun kid to talk to. Second place, qualified third on the grid, was pretty much in contention, except for I guess a couple of pit stop times early there, Ron. But really, sort of, you tend to nail those pit stops and getting the most out of your cars when it comes towards the end of the race. I was talking to Connor about that, and I'll talk to you a bit more about it. But congratulations, second place. What's harder, holding Connor off or trying to chase down Stephen?
Oh, hey Bob, man, it was trying to chase down Steven and save fuel. We were both on the same strategy, you know,
Yeah,
and I knew Connor had already made got caught on speeding on pit road, and he was saving fuel as well. So in case we didn't make it, he would have been able to. But we had a lot of fun with it. And Steven, you know, him being out front, if I could have got around him out front and then saved, I think it'd have been a good turnout for me.
yep. And I think obviously there was something I was watching as well. The fact that you both were on that ended up on that 80 lap run ultimately at the end, as to how the fuel and tire management was going. And look, it's obviously I say this not in a negative sense, but I think a lot of your sort of your spare tire wear, that spare fuel you have for that sort of situation, I think was spent getting through the lap traffic. Obviously, they're racing their own positional battles, trying to get their laps back up and sort of improve their sitting. Um, Dover's,
Exactly.
I was talking about it a bit before. Dover's sort of it's a mile track, but it's not a big track. It's not a short track, but it's sort of deceiving in a way. What was it like with all the lap traffic?
Honestly, the lap traffic was good. The guys, everybody in this league runs well
Mm,
and know enough to stay out of the way or how to pass, especially on the different strategies with the tires.
yep.
We had a good time with them. There's a few you watch out for, but you know, all in all, uh, everybody did a great job. Knowing, you know, we ran 200 laps and what only had two cautions.
Three
You know,
cautions all up. Yeah.
oh three, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. Not only I still had a set of tires in the pit, so I only used one set.
wow.
You know, so that makes it tough.
No, that was a good run. I mean, I was watching there, especially. I felt like the race was sort of between. There was two sort of stories unfolding. There was yourself, Stephen, and Connor, with a couple of other participants. Henry, Daniel, and whatnot. But then there was the team: Andy Barber, Darren McKenzie, and Adam Malone. Um, Unfortunately, I think I'm not sure what happened with Adam, but he had to about 70 laps earlier had to park the car. I'm not sure if it was a penalty thing or a personal thing or whatever, but that sort of broke up that three-car field. And I think before then it looked like it was really going to be the battle of the pit strategies. If there was going to be a pit sort of that 50 to 40, maybe 30 to go, and sorry, caution. Whether guys like yourself would have pitted, would you have, if there was like a 30 to go caution, knowing that it would have allowed some of those lap guys to get back up onto the lead lap, your Daniel Stevens, your Andy Barbers and stuff like that. Would you have pit, or were you confident in what was sort of, or what you had left in the car, basically?
Yeah, no, I definitely would have pitted and took that last set of tires, knowing I'd had 30 laps, good tires right
Mm,
there on a good hard run. And but that's why when they did not pit and even take gas to fill up, I pitted and fueled up, and didn't take tires, so I knew I could make the distance and still have a set of tires in the bank.
yeah, no, good plan. So back up just in case, but then obviously if it does run the green, you're still good to go. Now you're another driver that has secured yourself a playoff race. Only I think it's round 13, so only one more race to go points wise till we get to the playoff sort of stuff. Now, obviously, Stephen Williams, Connor Nixon. will be there. We'll also see Darren McKenzie, Ron Thompson. No, you're Ron Thompson. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, and Jason.
Daniel, Luke, and yeah, Jason Holdsworth if he's available. Obviously, we've missed him the last few weeks. Um, and one more person from next week. As I was saying to Connor, I'm a bit of a NASCAR noob, but with playoff races, and I believe if I can find the schedule, not sure where exactly that's going to be. But what sort of strategy goes into a playoff race? It's obviously, um, I guess a lot more high stakes. But is it just like every other race, but just with a little bit more results at the end? How do you treat a playoff race?
Yeah, playoff races, we got to treat them up. Uh, you definitely want to qualify good, so we're putting some effort in qualifying, and then you try to stay up front, and that way you can stay out of trouble.
Yep.
And especially with these playoff races, and these guys are so fast, you've got to be on your game and not speed in pit road, and things like that,
Mm,
and hope you don't get taken out by somebody else. I got caught up into somebody else's stuff last year,
yep.
and I was thinking, wow, but it all works out.
And that's it. It does. It's this. Whether it's racing calm or you got another chop opportunity to try again like you do this year. No, it's going to be very fun. And as I said, it's sort of a lot of it's new to me, so I'm loving coming along this journey and watching you guys sort of enjoy the level of success you're getting. These races are insane. Like I said, kind of the 200 lappers, 100 lappers, the distance you guys put in on a race night on a Friday night alone, it just absolutely astounds me. It is crazy. I was joking to Connor that you almost have guns of steel, but I imagine the arms they've got to be pretty tight after a race like this.
Oh, they are, and mostly tracks like Daytona and Talladega is where they get the most tight because you're trying to hold the truck so stiff and forward, and hold your line real tight. That's where my arms hurt mostly. This here has a lot of turning and on and off, so you stay pretty freed up.
Yep,
But all in all, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, especially the trucks. You got a lot of on gas time
yep.
more so than the other cars. You're really pushing it because you don't have the power. But at this track, the trucks are faster than the Cup cars.
Okay.
So yeah,
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 because
because
it's
the
more
Cup car,
steady, sort of. Yeah,
yep, Cup car, you're off the fuel so much, to keep it down turning.
yep,
And the trucks do hold up, and it's a lot of fun, especially at Dover. There's a lot of different tricks to it to not wear the tires out.
yep. No, I know me personally. I like a good NASCAR race. I've always said to the guys, I came for the dirt, discovered NASCAR trucks, and absolutely loved it. But Dover, yeah, to me, it's not as familiar visually as a track. I'm not sure I've raced on it too much, but um, yeah, you guys definitely made it look pretty damn racy. I feel like I better get out there and have a bit of a run on the officials this week and check it out. But congratulations on your second place tonight, Ron. Um, as always, friends,
I
family,
appreciate that.
sponsors. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, yeah, they had the Nitro team, Team Nitro, and the great setups, and the Michael J. Fox Foundation over here for Parkinson's research,
Hmm.
and Beat the Dark for sponsoring us up out here. I know, and I appreciate you guys and content up in the booth. I know it's a lot you guys have to go through to put this show on. So, all in all, Nigel and the NASCAR series, and I appreciate it, Bob.
Definitely, man. Look, best of luck with the rest of your races. Little doubt that we'll have you back up in the booth sometime soon. And any of the Nitro boys, obviously welcome. As I said, Connor, great kid. I could talk to him all night. He was a lot of fun as well. So, uh,
He is
best of luck with the rest of the races. And yeah, we'll hopefully have you back up here sometime soon.
fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, mate. All right, that was Ron Thompson. Now that leaves us with our final race. I don't know what I was going to describe. Their final driver here tonight. Started 10th on the grid, but after a couple of different varying pit stops compared to some of the other guys running in the top five at the time, ultimately races home as the winner and picks up your third. This is your third win, right, Stephen? I believe. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
Yes. Out
lucky
of
there tonight. It just kind of all fell into place. Like I don't really. Yeah, I'll have to go back and have a look at it and see how that all eventuated.
which part you didn't overthink or just let it happen type of thing. Yeah, and look, that was the thing I noticed was, and not to discredit any of the other drivers, I could name a bunch of guys from other night, but a lot of the stuff that I've referenced, it sort of seemed to be either yourself, Ron, and Connor, or it was the other boys, Darren McKenzie, Adam Malone, and Andy Barber, who had a good, sort of three-car run and looked like they were sort of, didn't matter if they fell back to 10th or 12th because of the pits. They seemed like they were in a bit of control, and there was that first, not first caution. The first caution was about 5 laps in. Second caution was about late 20s, like lap 29, 30, I think it was. And a lot of you guys went in then and just sort of topped up. Maybe didn't grab tyres. I know Ron didn't, and got back out there. And I think that's where it makes the race very interesting. You sort of put your faith in the tyre wear and the fuel usage. But like I said to Ron, you guys, 80 laps you ran on those tyres and fuel coming to the end. Not sure exactly how much what max fuel was in terms of laps, but I reckon I would have been panicking even with a few to go, just hoping no caution came out or just anything. That how low did you get? What was it? What was it remaining?
Well, yeah, that was certainly maximum laps. I couldn't even make it around to do a burnout at the end there. And I was really saving for a few laps there. Ron was right on my tail, Ron and Connor,
Mm,
and I was slowing right down just to go, just maximum saving, just so that when Ron had a go at me, I could actually fight back a bit,
yep.
because I thought he probably saved more than me for the very last couple of laps, and I was thinking he's just going to drive around me. He's done enough saving already that he can go flat out from here, And that surprised me that he stuck in behind me, um, and then I knew he pretty much was struggling as well because I'd seen him drop back, and I dropped back and was full on saving as much as possible, but then it'd start to come back at me, so I'd go again. So we were kind of playing cat and mouse,
Yep.
I think, trying to make each other use more fuel.
Definitely, and
Um,
that's what it looked like at my end. You could sort of see that where it wasn't like you would check up or slow down, but it was just Ron would get a bit of a run on you, and we'd be like, okay, is he going to challenge for the lead? But then you'd have enough to answer back to the point where Ron would literally fall back to Connor, or he'd have not enough speed
yeah,
that Connor would catch him, and it did look like Ron was the poor sort of pinball in the middle in that respect.
I probably didn't have the fuel to burn, but I knew that it made more of a difference in front, controlling the pace rather than chasing,
Yep, yep,
type of thing. Like, yeah, that's what I found. I was doing everything that I had to just to basically keep Ron behind, but I was definitely worried that I hadn't saved enough to
yep.
keep him there if he really took off at the end there.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Even in a general sense, race speed is one thing. Obviously, people, if you're racing similar laps, which a lot of you guys were doing very similar lap times, you can have that speed to possibly break down a bit of a gap, but that's it. You've used that extra sort of sprint to get there. You've got nothing to get past them, and it's hard sort of knowing when to go and when not to go. I was looking at like lap 25 to go, and I was thinking, oh, still got a few laps before Ron really needs to worry about it. But then, you're pulling sub 25-second times laps, which is 4 laps a minute. Now, 20 laps to go. That's 5 minutes. That really isn't a lot of race time to try and make a move, make sure it sticks, and then capitalize on it. It's hard to know when that is, and it looked like you were sort of fighting those off nicely. Um, Now, third win obviously doesn't matter. Obviously, one win gets you into the playoffs, but does the number of wins, as I was saying to Connor and Ron, the playoff situation and the NASCAR rules and that sort of stuff is a little bit new to me. So, does the number of wins affect your entry into the playoffs? Does it give you, like, does it potentially help you with a better starting position? Does it add more points, or is it just bragging rights at this stage once the
Yeah, I'm
first
not
win's in?
100%. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether it's a total reset of points or whether there may be a possible 2 points
Mm,
between each. Like first and second, second and third. You
yep,
know what I mean? As a little bit of a bonus for um, how you finished in the lead up to the playoffs.
yep.
So I'm not exactly sure how that plays out.
No, well, I mean, three wins out of the last 11 races is pretty impressive. With I think was it 7 overall, if I remember correctly, 7 overall winners over the last 11 races. So to have three where there's 7 winners all up, it's obviously you got to think about. I don't want to jinx or anything, but you got to think about peaking at the start too soon or anything. Yeah, carry that momentum through, but heck, nah, 3 wins in 11 races. That's good enough momentum to continue to carry through. Where are we next week? I think it's Texas next week, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not too sure. I pretty much don't look
You
until
just
the
turn up
day
and
before.
roast.
I just turn up. Yeah. Like tonight,
uh,
I was totally unprepared. I was just like, didn't even have a setup and just got the baseline and just threw a few things at it that I was just like, this is either going to work or it's going to totally be backwards. And
yeah,
I was just lucky the way the race played out that it, like if it come down to setup and pace, I would have been nowhere. Just the fuel,
yeah.
and saving tires is what saved me there. Like yeah, I definitely started off the race just running around at the back, just trying to save and then just slowly pick off people one by one as they were using their tires up, and that's what pretty much all I planned on the whole night was just hope that the long run happened and just yeah just use the long run pace, not pace but just long run consistency and to actually make positions.
Yep. No, and that pretty much described it, your race to a T. And then obviously able to get yourself to the lead and then run that one home with a bit of competition from Ryan. As I said to Connor, you're only as good as the competition. So yeah, it's pretty. Like to win is good, but to look in the mirror and see exactly who has been behind you, that's an even bigger blast. Watching a lot of these guys, like Ron's another guy that's got a playoff entry. Connor, they're all guys that are all capable of winning a race at any given week. So, congratulations, man! It was a great race to watch, and for a 200 lap at 3 cautions, that's a lot of green flag laps. So yeah, I'm sure you're glad it's over. But yeah, on to next week, which is Kansas 134 laps. I think it's said. Before we let you go, though, brother, friends, family, sponsors, who would you like to give a shout out to?
Just you for putting on the broadcast. It's great to
Thank you.
watch back and
Appreciate it.
see how you went, see what else happened in the race. Um, Nigel and all the crew at the Australian NASCAR eSeries for putting on the series and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good fun to be a part of, and and then on Nitro as well for backing the series.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then simrigs.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoists, Ben Max Mechanical, NP Designs, and all the fellas at DPR Racing,
No, legend,
and
man. Oh, well.
and Ron and Connor, and all
Oh,
the
yeah.
other you know fellas racing.
Yeah.
If you don't have them, the leagues soon drop off. So it's good to see consistent numbers and um, yeah, it's just good fun to be part of.
I could not agree more. If I say it to pretty much anyone I interview, I'm the lucky guy. I get paid to sit here and watch you guys race and call it, and you guys make my job easy by being so great on the track, but at the same time, there's the respectful enough that there's nothing stupid. It's just always quality content racing. Any issues that do occur are usually racing deals. So no, I agree. Big ups to you and the drivers, because without you guys, this isn't possible.
Yep. Cheers. Thanks.
All right, Matt. Best of luck with whatever other races you've got going on with you and your boys, and we'll see you again next Friday for Kansas.
Yep. Thanks for that. Catch you then.
Catch you, man. All right, that wraps up another edition of the Australian NASCAR eSeries Friday Night Trucks, powered by Beat the Dark. Mental Health Matters. We just spoke with Connor Nixon, Ron Thompson, and Stephen Williams. That was the 3, 2, and 1 place, first place finishes. Terrible, Bob. Been a long night. Join us when will we be live again? Sunday night American. So that is a Monday morning for our Australian viewers. Well, pardon me, Peggy now. We'll be back with the Knuckleheads iRacing League. 3 nights of racing, 5 races. Double headers Sunday and Monday night, street stocks Tuesday night. I'm going to go because I'm just going to keep rambling. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, except YTEFYR on Twitch. You can take your spam elsewhere.